All right.
Hey, everyone. Becky, Thames here, and I am super excited. I have some special guests with me today. So today I am with Jack and his mom, Jen Marquis. They're from Valdosta, Georgia. And I'm super excited for Jack, especially because he's 15. And when you're 15, like when my boys are younger, nobody wants to hire you, right? No matter how mature you are, no matter how many A's you have on your report card, no, like it's like nobody wants to give you a chance. And so when Jack and his mom saw my first video when I was beta testing my Marketplace Pro, I'll let them tell you the story. But welcome, guys. How are you?
We're good.
Good. Jack, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Like I said before, I'm so excited that you are 15 and on video camera, because my sons would like run the opposite way. In fact, last night there were probably about 6 or 8 of them over here, and I was like, hey, do y'all want to be in a video? And they were like, the girls, the guys, none of them. They did not want to come on video. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So Jen and Jack, you want to say, like, you know, what were you doing before my Marketplace Pro, and then after? Like, just give me a little synopsis of how everything's going.
I actually started back in 2014 with that DS Domination that you were with. And I think at some point we became friends around that time, and I just kind of followed you through the years. And I started drop shipping and doing that on eBay. And then I advanced up to Amazon, and then advanced up to trying to do, brand my own products. And I watched your stuff. I had, I can't remember the name of it, the course that you were offering at the time, but I did that and started branding my own products probably about 2017, 2018. And I had three very successful businesses. And January 2019, I got really sick with pneumonia and ended up in the ICU for 2 weeks with lung surgery. And basically at that point, everything stopped. All my business had, I had a boutique that I would set up on the weekends, and I had the Amazon. I was doing all of that, and it just stopped. And it took me many months to recover from that. Sometimes I feel like I'm not recovered from it, but I was just kind of sitting at home. All my inventory had dried up in Amazon. And so I went back and started watching your videos again and started kind of fresh branding my products again, because I had to build all that back up. And then COVID hit. So there really wasn't much for us to do. And I was like, okay, I've got to do something here. And I've followed you over the years. And I saw our colleague offer the course, but I didn't have, the money to do it just yet. And I kind of was holding back a little bit, had some reservations on it. But then when you started talking about it, I was like, okay, if Becky's doing it, I can do it. And Jackson, he's been trying all summer to get a job. But I'll let him talk a little bit about his summer.
Yeah. First off, I tried Chick-fil-A, Subway sometimes. They just wouldn't hire me for some reason. Then I tried records and like vinyl records, which
selling on eBay
did not go well at all.
Yeah.
So I was just sitting there doing nothing, and then she brought up that course she was mentioning.
So we sat down and I said, "Bud, let's watch this. It's, I trust her, and I've seen your success, and I was like, let's just watch it." And so we watched it, and I said, "Is this something you want to do?" And he said, "Sure." I said, "But here's the thing, you've got to do it." I was like, "I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it for me, but you got to do it too." And so we bought the course that night, and I think in the next couple of days we started listing products, and it was like, whoa, I sold something. Oh, cool. Well, how about that? And then like more things started selling, and his first product that he sold was like a $70 profit. And we were sitting there. It was so funny because we were sitting there, and I had set it up to to watch the videos, but to train him. So I had my big TV and I hooked my computer up to it to watch the TV so we could both see it and we could, talk about, well, right here, look at this. And it popped up that we had sold this equipment and I was like, oh, no way, we sold something. And we were like, oh, this is cool. And then like we were starting to list something else and it popped up like what, and not long after the first one. And we just kind of screamed like, what? This is $65 profit. Are you kidding me? Within like 2 hours. And so we were just like kind of hooked at that point.
Well, that was like what, within your first 24 hours? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. And then just, snowballed. And I'll let him tell his day and how his day goes because he's got way less time than I do, but he's still able to make some money.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually what happens is I just go to school and like at 3, and then I have to come back and I list as much as I can. Until then, I have to go to basketball practice. Then I have to come back to home. And by that time, I've only listed like 10 items that day. So I don't get much.
Mm-hmm.
And I will process the orders and, help with tracking and stuff like that because I have a little bit more time, but he knows how to do it. So if I say, hey, I need your help doing this, then he can jump in there and do it.
Awesome. So Cameron actually walked in the room. He's looking at you, Jack. So Cameron, do you want to say anything? You want to sit down and say anything? We're live.
What?
So Jack is telling his story about how he sold on Facebook Marketplace because he saw you on that first video. So Jen was talking about my mentor, Roger, who I learned everything from, right? Yeah. And so I absolutely adore that guy. And so I actually said, hey, can I share with, the course with him or with my people? And he's like, I just don't have time. I don't have the systems in place. I said, okay, I'll create my own training to show people. And I'm so grateful that I did. But Cameron had started watching Roger's training. So he was watching the training, which is closed now. I mean, you can't get in there. So he was the one that was having success because I was going to learn how to do stocks. But in the group, everybody was like, Facebook. And so I was like, wow, what is this? And so that's how, because I'm like still the Amazon queen. I still have a full-time job. It's like super busy, right? But Cameron started listing. And then we got the bright idea that I would go to a virtual assistant out in the Philippines. And I did, but then my Facebook Marketplace account got shut down. And it's because the virtual assistant tried to log in at the same time that I was trying to log in. And so Facebook saw 2 different logins like within a matter of minutes. And so they were like, you can't do that. So then Cameron was like, I got the account back and everything. And Cameron said, well, I don't want to list because you're going to get your Facebook account shut down again. So now he lists, and then also the virtual assistant list as well. So Jen and Jack, we lost your video.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I see a shark or something on the screen.
Oh, sorry. It's an A10. My head's okay. Sorry.
It's a what? What was that?
An A10. My husband loaded bombs on an A10.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what that is. And so Cameron, Cameron, you want to say anything?
About what?
About My Marketplace Pro and listing on Facebook? He said no.
Yeah. How is he doing well though? He's still doing it?
She wants to know if you're still doing it?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
He said,
good.
Yes, ma'am. So, okay. So let's talk about, so Jack, you try to list 10 items per day. Is that what I understand? And then your mom fulfills the orders. Did you think it was going to work?
Not at first.
Okay.
It's kind of silly to just have 5 minutes out of your day and make money.
Yeah, I know. And that's what a lot of people are like. I know that there are people watching right now that have been watching since I started back in November, and they still haven't like dipped their toe in the water to try it because they hear like, because I'm going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And which you want, you want someone who's going to be very transparent, but sometimes they're like, I can't get past like, well, what if this happens and what if that happens? So have you had any problems that you've had to overcome?
Just time management, honestly, on my part.
We've not had any kind of like the PayPal issues that some people have. I mean, I have, but I've been able to work around that and get money into the PayPal account. So I think that's been the biggest challenge. And there's some days that just with our schedule, we've not been able to list anything at all because I've been so busy putting in orders.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's a good problem to have, but I want fresh inventory in there, and we're constantly looking and bouncing ideas off each other. And we haven't had the issues that some have had with the payment. So I think the only other issue that I might have later on down the road is the funding part. Once in order to make $2,000, you've got to spend a little bit more than that, obviously.
Right.
So you got to have that tucked away somewhere. But for the most part, we haven't had too many snags.
Right.
PayPal or eBay does stop me after like 5 orders or so, and I have to switch payments. But if when I clear cookies and stuff like that, it goes away.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of eBay wanting to make sure that you're not a bot and that you're not a scammer, and they're just dotting their I's and crossing their T's. And kind of like what I posted in the group today is, there's multiple ways to take money. Not only PayPal, you can use Facebook Pay, you can get paid through Facebook Marketplace itself, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App. I've had people mail me money with an envelope in the mail before. I have not, well, actually I did. I did one porch pickup. He actually came to our home and picked up something. Didn't even see him. He left, he actually left, it was like $15, and he left a $20 bill. And so I cash apped him $5 back. He was like, keep it. And I'm like, no. So I cash apped him. So I've done it all now. Every possible way. The sales are so much like people just throw money. They're like, how can I get this? I don't have PayPal. I don't have this. I don't have that.
Yeah. I've had one guy that wanted he was in Texas and he was only in the States for a week. And I was like, there's no way I can get it to you that quick. And he's like, well, can I just drive there? And I'm like, I'm not in Texas. So I think that maybe that's the only other thing is that it's not local pickup.
Right. And that's one thing to mention too, is that when you're listing on Marketplace, a lot of people, how they currently think of it is that it's just going local. When in fact, once you list it on Marketplace, it goes nationally. And so anybody from anywhere can buy it. And a lot of times people are like, well, can I just drive over there? So I will have to say, Cameron was doing some listing last week, I think, and we had to freshen up his skills because he was listing suppliers that only had a couple hundred instead of a couple thousand feedback. And so I was like, this isn't Amazon. It's not the lower the better. On Amazon, it's the lower the better. On the other websites, it's not. So we had to freshen up some skills, but he's back listing again. And the hardest part, everyone asks, Becky, or I'll ask you too, Jen and Jack, what products do you sell? Not what do you specifically sell, but how do you find the products to sell?
Well, it's just a lot of time, I guess. Just looking at everything you possibly can.
Well, another thing that look at the stuff you're buying. That was the big thing. When you see the puppies are, everywhere. So a lot of dog stuff, jewelry. I mentioned my boutique, but I had a jewelry boutique, and obviously with COVID, I haven't been able to set up. I didn't get to set up at all for 2019, but I had a jewelry boutique, and so I know that you can mark that up and it sells. So jewelry is definitely one. And then there's also things that I'm like, you know what? I have no idea. I've got all these ideas in my head of, what to look for, but then sometimes I'm going down those rabbit holes and I'm like, no, focus. And I will do the old Roger technique and type in a color.
That's what I was going to say. I don't even think about products. I'm all about keywords. Start with any word, a color. Yeah.
And then one of the ways that finding the seller, it's almost like once you buy something, there's one particular item that he ships, or I get a tracking number within less than 10 hours of me placing the order. So a lot of times I'll do it in the evening when I get everything, done for the day. And that next morning by 10 o'clock in the morning, it's already at the post office and I can see that. So of course I'm like, you are good. I'm going to look through all your stuff and I'm going to list it. So,
yes. And too, feedback is super important no matter what platform you're selling on. So I want to encourage you, especially for great sellers like that, to leave some amazing feedback for each of those items, because that of course boosts them, and then tell your friends to do the same thing, because a lot of people don't know to do that, and that reviews are the lifeblood of our e-commerce businesses.
That I make it a point to once a week for about 30 minutes. That's all I do is copy and paste feedback, and because I know that's important for my product, and I'm always like, oh, I got a new review. Let me go look at it real quick. So hopefully that's making a difference for them. But I'll spend about 30 minutes a week just posting reviews.
Okay. I actually just went to check it out on live. We are live on Facebook, so I wanted to see if there are any questions over there. So I'll ask if I see any questions in the group as well. But I just came to the live instead of the see if there were any questions. So okay, let me see what else I was going to say. You were talking about time, right? So when you first started, I'm sure it took more time because you were learning everything than it does now, correct?
Yes.
Is that right? Is that a true statement?
Yes.
So do you find that you're getting quicker and quicker as the days go by?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We keep ours. We copied and saved a spreadsheet for me and a spreadsheet for him, so he knows how much he sold, and I know how much I've sold. And then he also puts a link of the item on eBay, so when I go to put in his order, he can. I know exactly where to go.
Right.
And so that's been really the spreadsheet's been really good because it's already doing the taxes and everything for us. So
right.
that's kind of
nice. And that's included as part of My Marketplace Pro. You get the tools, right? And that's one of the things that people really, really need is to keep up with your sales and your taxes and everything that's included in the spreadsheet as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And time, my day, I've got him, and then we've got a 10-year-old daughter. My husband and I've been married for 18 years, and he's in the Air Force. We're stationed at Media Force Base. We've been here for a long time, but I really enjoy being a military spouse. And when Abigail was born, I had to quit working and stay home. She had some medical challenges, and so I didn't really have a job. And that's one of the things in 2014, I was looking for something to do at home. And so fast forward to now, basically, get up in the morning, get them to school. I'm the lunch lady at the kids' school. They go to a small private Christian school. So it's just, I go in, so drop them off at school, come back to the house. I'm back by like 8:10. I sit down, I have my Bible time, and then I'll jump on Facebook and update shipping and all that until about 9:30. And then I'll go into the school and do lunch from 9:30 to about 1 o'clock. And when I come home, I'll, do orders or update shipping and this is one thing I think maybe I wasn't prepared for, was the amount of communication with customers, because they will communicate with you 24/7.
Right. You have to have some boundaries.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So from like about 1 o'clock to 3, sorry, the dogs are barking. About 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I'll do more Facebook stuff. And then I'll go pick them up at 3 and then give him the computer for a couple hours until he has basketball. And then jump back on around 8 o'clock. So I'm not sitting at my computer for hours and hours and hours a day. I do have to set a schedule.
Yeah, and have life too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Dinner has to be cooked, which I don't normally cook. My husband does.
Yay!
Yes,
I love
totally.
that too.
Totally.
So let's talk about you were talking about, you working into the nooks and crannies of your life, whether it be before school, after lunch, etc. Did you think it was going to work? Like, especially,
yes.
let's say, well, I guess for you guys, you had a really quick sale. I mean, there's some people that, see people in the group and they're making 50 sales a day and 75 sales a day. And then, maybe, I don't even know what's the most sales that you've had in one day?
I don't know about profit. I can give you a profit. I think at one day I had like 250 profit in a day. But right now we're averaging between the two of us about $135 profit. That's after taxes. That's after fees and everything. About $135 a day.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I was joking with him. Private school is not cheap.
Right. For
Yeah.
sure. And Jack, I hear you're saving for your high school ring.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Well, I'm ordering it this 25th.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got enough for it saved. Yep.
Nice. That's awesome. Did you get your new shoes?
Not yet.
Well, he got his Nikes.
I got a pair.
He got one pair. Yep.
Okay.
He did get that.
Okay, that's cool. Because I know at one time Cameron was saving up for like a jacked up truck thing, like to jack his truck up, and I'm like, dude, that's a waste of money. But
yeah, did he get it? Did you get it, buddy?
He did it.
I had one, then I sold it.
He sold it, and then
I got a 2016 GMC Sierra.
Yeah, so he's saying he's got a 2016 GMC Sierra instead of jacking up the other truck.
That
and
works.
He got speakers for his truck. We need to get them installed, actually. They're not installed yet, but that's okay. It's not like thumping through the neighborhood, right? So, yeah. So I am so excited that you guys jumped on and shared your story. But I wanted to go back to the people that, see all the success stories in the group. I've sold, I've got 50 orders today or 75 orders today, and maybe they're just like struggling to get one sale or their first sale. And maybe they're, only listing 3 a day or 5 a day. Could you offer some like encouraging words to like new people that are like, is this really work? Am I wasting my time? Kind of stuff.
I knew it would work mainly because I was successful at eBay. And so it's almost exactly like eBay. So I knew that part was going to be successful. Do you have any words of advice?
Well, just keep at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
consistency.
Yeah.
Maintaining the fact that you're feeding the machine. Like it's almost like the more you feed it, the more consistent that you feed it. So if you say, I'm going to list 5 items every day, keep it at 5 items every day. And then if you are ready to jump up to 10 items a day, then jump up, but make sure that you stay at 10 items.
Right.
I mean, that's what's worked for us. Because it's a numbers game at that point. There's been many things that have not sold one time, but there's been things that have sold 10 to 15 times a day. And you're like, I didn't realize that many people even wanted this thing. Like I didn't even know what it was. Like he was listing stuff and I was like, what is that? So somebody wanted it.
Yeah, I don't know what some of the stuff is that Cameron has listed either. I'm like, I don't know. So, and I think that's a very important point. You may have 100 items listed, but you might only sell 2 of them, but sell them repeatedly.
Yes.
So it's similar. I always tell people it's similar to fishing. The more bait you put in the water, meaning the more items that you list, the more chances that you are that that a fish will bite your bait or that a seller will buy your product. So just keep putting more bait and more bait and more bait in the water.
Absolutely.
Right. But I know it could be disheartening for the ones that maybe they're only listing 2 products here and they're skipping 3 days and listing 2 products and then saying my stuff's not selling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When you don't feed, I think of it as like a machine. You know, if you don't feed the machine, it's going to get hungry and walk away from you. So if Facebook sees that you're feeding it, it's going to stay with you. And that's one thing that I've noticed. If I sell almost like clusters, I'll sell like 5 of one thing in a day, and it's almost like if there's more. If someone messages me about something, it's almost like an hour or so later, I'm getting an order from somebody else. I don't know the algorithm yet, but it's almost like if you feed it, it will get fed and your pocket will get full. I don't know.
I like it. If you feed it, it will get fed and your pocket will get full.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it has something to, and I'm not a whiz on Facebook's algorithm either, but it's definitely algorithm based. And I do know that when you start putting in those tracking numbers, it's like, oh, you shipped a few, we'll give you some more juice, you know, and that's a really good thing on Facebook Marketplace.
When I noticed, because before I told you about changing the quantity, I did it for quite a few days to even see if that was even a thing. Because like, oh, maybe it's just a coincidence or something. But when I was seeing that it consistently was making a difference on items that I hadn't sold at all, but I went back and changed the quantity, something refreshed in there. And I know that you can renew things, but it's almost like when there's activity on something, it just bumps it to the top. So I was really shocked when other people said, hey, you know what? I tried the quantity thing and it worked. And changing words around in the title, it works. Like if you've got a stale product, change something about it and it's like it bumps it back to the top. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, it just works. It works. So that's really good. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Is there any like words of wisdom if somebody's thinking about joining My Marketplace Pro? If they're just thinking about it, is there any advice you'd give them?
Do you?
I don't really.
You're not really losing anything. I mean, if you think about it, if you watch the videos, you do it, it doesn't cost anything to list a product. So even if you're questioning, oh, should I even list this? List it. It's not going to cost you anything. And it may surprise you. I've got one thing that sells like all the time and I'm going, this is the craziest thing. I didn't even know people even needed this. So just try it. I mean, you're not going to really lose anything because if you make a couple of sales, you've already earned. Would we say it took us not even 2 days to make back the fee? So, I mean, it's, you're not really losing anything.
Right. And that's the 2 things. It's the fear of losing money and the fear of not being successful. That's 2 of the biggest fears. And you kind of address both of them. It's like, oh, I'm going to lose my investment into myself, into my skills. And I'm huge. I mean, I've said this because I always continue to invest in my e-commerce business, even as a 7-figure e-commerce seller. You know, the more you learn, the more you earn, and we'll never learn it all. I'll never learn it all. You'll never learn it all. No one will. There's always something new coming out every single day. But you do have to stay on top of those skills, right? And so that's why I invest in courses and masterminds and mentors and webinars and things of that nature. So if you're interested in joining My Marketplace Pro, you can go to mymarketplacepro.com and come and join all of us in the Facebook group, and we'll answer your questions and help you to be successful as well. And Jen is active in the group and posts in there as well. So, do y'all have anything else to add?
The one thing I do like about the Marketplace Pro is it is a community. And when we do need help, or if there is an issue, or if we just need encouragement, I really like that we can just post on there and someone's going to come right up there and say, hey, don't give up, keep trying. I like that community because, you know, where I am, when I tell people that I drop ship or I retail arbitrage or I, you know, retail online, all this stuff, people are like, what is that? And sometimes you just don't want to explain it and you just want to go to someone that already knows and, you know, talk about it. So I really like the fact that there's a group that we can go to and just say, kind of like you said, the good, bad, and the ugly, because it's important to know everything you're getting into, but you also have to have a little bit of faith that this works. I mean, you see that it works. So it's working. Just have some faith. Don't give up, because in the end, I mean, you're not really losing anything. You've got knowledge, you've got encouragement along the way.
Awesome. I concur with that like 100,000%. So thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining. I tried to see if there were any questions, and I can see that people are liking the video, but I can't see any comments under there. Let me just go and see if I can see over here on my computer if there's any comments, because I can't see.
Oh, you know what? There was one other thing I wanted to mention.
Sure.
And this may be something down the line, but there were certain items that I noticed were just selling 10 times a day. And I was like, you know what? I bet I can find that cheaper. And so I ended up sourcing it. And so I've got like a box of, and it's small stuff, but I had it shipped over from China and I'm shipping it from the house and I'm making a couple more bucks on it. Actually, one of them I'm making $15 more on by doing.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't mind. I mean, I'm not getting hundreds of orders like that a day, but it's small enough that it doesn't take long to print it off. And I'm shipping it from here, and I know that it's only going to take like a couple of days to get to that person. So
that's really, really good advice, because you have more skills and you know how to import from China. That is definitely something not everyone does. You know, a lot of people are like, hey, I just want to focus here in the United States, which is totally fine. We have US based suppliers as well. Some people are like, you know, anti-China. I still import from China too. So I'm with you. You know, even Walmart and Target and all those places are getting their products from China. And so they're Walmart and I'm Becky. So
yep.
That's how
I like it. I love it.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much and have an amazing night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.